That's good enough for me. Let's go live, baby.
The only reason I want to see that is
Go,
because
Nikki, go.
the Democrats in the House will
Go,
have
Nikki,
oversight
go.
powers, and they can slow down this administration. The administration is doing
So you
harm
want to use
now.
the Democrats as a check?
Yes, exactly. I don't support Democrats in and of themselves, but the Trump administration is bad. Like, it's hurting
So
us.
you want
It's
to
a
kill the
liability.
Aryans?
Yes.
Well, that's why I called for 25th Amendment. Trump, no, he attacked me. I love it. I was trying to get him, just without having to do that, get him to stop, but he's not stopping.
And he won't. He won't. Why would he? I mean, it's total exuberance in the White House. He's a megalomaniac. It's total. You know this. You told me about it. You've said on your show too. He's totally unhinged. He's out to lunch. And so it's like the only thing that will
Go, Nick, go.
A year ago, but I said don't say it yet. But he is megalomaniac now.
Yeah, and and it's clear. I mean, it's obvious.
Oh.
Reconnect with Nick.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
We're good.
Oh, Nick's back. Nick,
There we
you
go.
said it's totally obvious. Go ahead.
yeah, I said it's totally obvious. Comparing himself to Jesus Christ, his comments on Easter, all these things. Like, it's very clear that he's got some problems here. And so in any case, I think that the only way that we can exert any kind of pressure on him is really from the Democrats. Get them in there to oppose the administration. And then in 2020, that we need is a coronation of J.D. Vance.
What's up,
I know
Mama?
You feel differently than I do about
No, let's
him.
talk about that. I mean, I get what you're saying. If we lose the midterms, we have a shot at winning the general election. That's just basic political science. But they're going to go for stacking the Supreme Court, cramming it, ending the filibusters. That's why I'm so concerned. But I
Full
get
computer
your
screen, huh?
logic that if we
Jealous?
works, the party in power that loses power. So if they win the House and Senate, then we win the next time. You're right. Look, I don't think J.D. Vance is a bad guy. I don't think he's like a Manchurian candidate, but I get your points, serious concerns, whatever. Fine, then who would be? We'll talk
Amar,
about
how you going to be in here and not hit that like?
of this process.
Hit that
of
thumbs
in
up.
Power, out of power, and then who would be the American first person? Who would be our dark horse? Who would be our savior?
Well, like I said, I think that it just can't be a coronation, because the way it is right now, and this is something that people are not really hip to, is that for the past couple of years, the whole GOP establishment is just lining up behind J.D. Vance. And Rubio, who is now being considered an alternative by like the pro-Israel crowd, even he has said if Vance runs, he won't oppose. And Rubio, who knows if
Thank
that's
you.
true? That might just be politics. But like,
Well, by the way, I
thing
told
is-
this story like 6 months before the election. I'm up at TPUSA in Michigan, and they go, "Hey, J.D. Vance was to me. I never met him in person. He when he was even a candidate, he defended my free speech. All that was a nice guy." So I got whisked in there and talked to him, and he goes, "I go, well, I hear you're in.
his
I hear
voice
you're
is
in
crazy.
consideration, so I have it. I'm the vice president." And I shook his hand and talked to him about, you got to go after the deep state. Here's the problems. And he goes, "Yeah, we're on that." And I talked about Smith-Muntak with him. And then Chase Geiser comes and was like taping it. So he messed. I'm not mad at Chase. Chase has a camera, and they're like, "Oh, whoa." And I said, "Delete that right now." But the point was, is that he was just like, "No, I have it." Months and months before the nomination, I had it. So what is that? How he was just like, "I have it."
Guys, if you really believe that like J.D. Vance is gonna be your guy, that he is actually gonna make America
Hell
great
no,
again,
fuck you.
maybe there is something wrong with you. Because excuse me, I just don't trust any one of this administration. Look what a complete mess this administration made already in the past 2 years of our country, and then you really expect that people are gonna vote for the vice president for this administration who literally betrayed us multiple times. I just don't buy into that. Excuse me, I just don't trust Vance. I don't trust anyone of this administration. And for this reason, I really believe that no
This dude
one
got
should
the
be allowed
heaviest
to
accent
run for
ever.
office
He's so
from the
fucking
people
America
who are
first.
responsible for all the mistakes they made already in the past 2 years. We're not even 2 years in, and I don't want to repeat myself, but you know all this now. They campaigned with no more wars, they started the war. They campaigned with more transparency, they covered up the Epstein files. They're going to lower the prices. Everything is like crazy expensive now. And then you expect that people are going to vote for a vice president who is responsible for this? Excuse me, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on there, and he and his wife feel the same way about the nomination. The wife, Usha Vance, allegedly, she's already thinking she's the first lady. She's already thinking she is the married to the president. They don't think they just have the nominee. They think they have the next presidency, or at least
Why do
maybe
you think they
did.
grabbed him at the shooting Saturday night for Trump?
Well, they say that that's standard protocol, but who knows? I mean, maybe they were protecting the real VIP. Maybe they're, who knows? Maybe there's
So
something
it's
going on
standard
there.
protocol to grab the vice president?
I'm saying that's what they said. I'm saying that was their defense. But like you said, I mean, I don't think that doesn't sound right to me. Because you're right, Trump was still eating.
Well,
his
you've been a
dinner
big
when
critic of Vance, and you predicted this Iran fiasco. Why are you a critic of Vance? Talk about it.
Well, Vance is very close with Peter Thiel, who I don't trust, and I know Tucker's a good friend of Peter Thiel, and I know you feel differently about Palantir and all that, but I don't trust Peter Thiel at all. I'm Catholic. Peter Thiel just was on a recording saying that the Pope is the Antichrist and all this kind of stuff. And anyway, it's besides the point. Vance is a creation of Peter Thiel. He's a creation of Little Tech every step of the way. Recruited at Yale, sent out to Silicon Valley, worked this fake career, no-show job in venture capital. Then he got the $15 million from Peter Thiel with the Trump endorsement to go into the Senate. And so it's like, in other words, this is a guy that kind of owes everybody a lot. He owes all these people basically his entire career, and he's going to be the president. We don't even know who he is. I mean, 10 years ago, he was a never-Trumper. He voted for Evan McMullin, the CIA agent picked by Bill Kristol to be a spoiler in Utah. He loves Barack Obama. On Inauguration Day in 17,
yeah, I know.
he
To
said,
you it is.
like, Trump supporters
To me,
hate
it's so
Obama
interesting.
because he's too smart, he's too cerebral, and they hate that
It's
a
about our
black guy
future,
is more
Mama.
intelligent than them. Like, this is who the guy's a chameleon. I don't know who to trust him. I don't love this Peter Thiel thing. He obviously owes everybody. And the way it's shaping out is that in 28, everyone's going to get behind him. And
7
if
minutes,
he
nobody's
goes
getting
out
it.
there and just starts winning every single primary, there's going to
That's
be
crazy.
no room for a real contest. And it's like, there should be.
Maybe
Because
this isn't
Trump
the
has
right
been
time.
on
I don't
the
know.
ballot
Let me
three
come around
times.
on Peter Thiel. I simply cover facts. So you have Alexa 15 years ago, listen to every word you say. For a decade, all the cars are already self-driving. They used to tell you. 5 years ago, they passed a law of kill switches in all the cars. My point is that it is little tech. The reason you see Palantir everywhere is they're doing the same thing Google and IBM and Microsoft do. They're coming in containing the contract. So I'm saying we see corporate media telling us about Palantir all day
Hey,
because
another
they want to
person.
go,
What's
oh, look, he's
up?
scared of big tech. I'm not
that
defending
like?
Palantir. It's the same thing. I'm simply saying it's just one more flavor in the ice cream shop. So it's not a defense of Palantir. I'm just not going to sit there and like go, oh,
Well, they said, fuck it.
this is the surveillance state. It's already there. That's my only point. But I agree. J.D. Vance was basically, like you said, grown by this thing. And, and I was more pro-Trump previously. I saw it as coming in to kind of surveil the deep states, what Trump said, because you got to have like an Indian guy like Lewis and Clark to get across the country. Trump has to have some big tech. All the other big tech toast Obama and pledge allegiance to him, who's been the shadow president. So who do we bring in to big tech to take control if it is a Palantir, which I'm not saying we should do, but that was what we were sold. And then Trump kind of goes, oh, forget Palantir, because you look at the budget, Palantir's tiny compared to Google and Microsoft and Amazon and then Oracle. So I'm just like telling listeners, okay, yeah, I'll pump up Palantir every day because New York Times tells me to. I'm just saying the exact same crap is being done by all these other guys, and they get most of the funding. You see my point?
I totally understand. It's just that, to me, I see Palantir as just as bad as them because they're in bed with Israel. They do these contracts.
No,
with
they're
Israel.
using AI to kill people.
Yeah, and it's run by Alex Karp, who's a freak. I mean, Alex Karp is a freak who hates us. He thinks that Christian nationalists are going to kill him for being Jewish. Like,
He says
he's
his number
totally
one
insane.
fear is the Christian nationalists will throw him off a building.
Right.
He's not worried about
And-
Muslims.
And they're all like that. Lonsdale at Founders Fund is like that. Sean McGuire at Sequoia is like that. All these people in Little Tech are like that. All these people in El Segundo, all those people in Silicon Valley, they're all like this. I mean, there's a lot of people even that are lesser known. And I happen to know some of their names. But they're like total pro-Israel partisans, pro-Trump, pro-Israel. And that's really what constitutes the movement behind Vance. Even look at his chief of staff. His chief of staff, Jacob Reeses, is a Tikva Fund fellow. So he was literally backed by the Israel lobby from the very beginning. There's this article about how J.D. Vance's entourage is all like 6'5" handsome chads, and then this little Jewish guy is his chief of staff, Jacob Reeses. It's like, so this is the kind of stuff that's going on over there. And all I'm saying is, in 28, we need a competition. Trump's been on the ballot 3 times. It's a question of succession.
Well,
Who's
another
gonna
question.
lead
You
the
go to
right
TV
wing?
USA or you go to CPAC, it's all Trump. What do they think of the future is?
Excuse me, but am I like the only one who is a little bit annoyed by the fact that Alex is always interrupting Nick after like 3 or 4 words? Like, Why would you do that? It's kind of disrespectful. If you're the host of a show, you're gonna invite Nick on your show, and then you don't even let him talk. And don't get me wrong, I like Alex, but it's a little bit annoying. And probably people will be like, yeah, dude, but you're now also interrupting this video. That's right, I react to these kind of videos. But if I would have like a debate with Nick, I wouldn't interrupt him like after 3 or 4 words. And Alex does this multiple times. It's a little bit annoying, but that's another discussion for now. What is more important to me as well is like, why is Alex, it almost looks like he is still defending the Trump administration. He is still defending J.D. Vance. Why would you do that? We all saw what Trump did with Alex. Alex supported Trump from the beginning, and Trump literally backstabbed him. You remember this Truth Social post from like 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, when Trump was saying like, bankrupt Alex Jones. He was making complete fun of Alex. He was literally calling him out. And still, it looks like Alex is still defending him. Is defending Peter Thiel. Is defending J.D. Vance. Why? That's a little bit suspicious to me. I just don't understand. Why would you do that? We all know that this whole administration, including J.D. Vance, J.D. Plant, however you want to call him, they are like almost a scam to me. They lie to their voters. They betray them. Why would you still support these people? They don't deserve our vote anymore.
Right. And it really should be up to us to decide. And I think we need another referendum on the party. And basically, we need to say, look, Trump didn't go far enough. The MAGA movement failed. When we can talk about why that is and how it happened, but the MAGA movement does not resemble what it originally was. It's something else now. It utterly and totally failed. It was assimilated to the GOP. I'm not going to vote for more MAGA. I'm not going to vote for Vance or Rubio, who are a part of this train wreck. They're complicit in it. They're a part of it. They own it.
Nick,
I'm not going to support it.
Because I said this from the start of the show. This is an ass-kissing contest. All I know in the universe is go with who has been right the most. You have been as right as much as I have, and I'm one of the best people at that, and you've been even more right in many ways. That's why, give me the future then. And I already said this 8 times, but I want the future. I know you like to speculate, but just give me what you think the different breaks are here.
So I think in 28, we have a chance to run a dark horse that's America first. And I don't know who that person's going to be. I've seen some interesting people. I don't want to say necessarily, because if I say I'm in my vote, you know, if I say, oh, I like this guy, then they're going to say, oh, meet the Groyper candidate that's going to run for, you know, and they're going to do that. But, you know, there's some people that I've seen and I've noticed, some young people that bring some energy to the table. I can tell you this, because I have off-record meetings, which is they're not bad to do with the top people, and they are really concerned about you. Well, I'm not going to run. I'm not old enough. But
no, they're concerned about your influence. Which is why we don't want the Southern Poverty Law Center to get you killed. Yeah, I'm trying to stay alive out here, you know. Yeah, I told you years ago, your main mission is stay alive. Well, that's it's a low bar, but it's difficult sometimes. Hey, if you're above ground, it's a good day. That's so true. I love that. It really is, isn't it? You have to look at it that way sometimes. As long as we're here and we're alive, right? Even if we've lost other things, that's what counts. But back to my question. So, oh, it's incredible. So, back to what you think's going to happen? So I think that in 28, we got a shot. We got a window here where we can have another referendum on all this, and we need an outsider to come in and run. Now, I don't know that a candidate like that is going to win. Maybe we could get the vice presidency. And maybe that person can go all the way and win. But I really think we need to be open-minded. A lot of people are trying to say, well, who's it going to be? Who's going to run? Who are we going to get behind that's going to win? It's like in 2016, nobody knew it was going to be Trump. In May of 2015, when that primary started, Jeb Bush was the front runner at like 15%. And people said, oh, Rubio's interesting. Cruz is interesting. That was the field. That was the triumvirate in May of 2015. It was Bush, Cruz, and Rubio. Nobody knew that the asteroid called Donald Trump was going to crash into Earth and change everything forever and define our lives for a decade. And I feel similarly about 2028. Let's not go all in on somebody that we know is not really going to be the guy. Let's open up a space and say, and create the appetite. Let's put the call out and say, we need someone in 28 that's an outsider. We need a leader. We need a Caesar. We need someone that's going to come in and truly put America first without little tech, big tech, without Israel, without the compromises. We have to choose to believe, because otherwise, I'm going to tell you what, if Vance gets a nomination, I don't think he has a good chance. This is going to be the least popular administration in modern history. It's already a disaster. It's only going to get worse. Yeah, that's why we see Vance trying to distance himself from Trump. So exactly so. I'm going to put a headline on this last clip here. Nick Fuentes calls for a dark horse messiah to save America, or Nick Fuentes calls for a dark horse Republican to save America. Or what's the headline here?
That's the headline. That's the headline. We need a leader in 2028. We need the leader to rise up and take the nomination. And by the way, it needs to be a Republican. People think I'm like some Democrat. I'm not. I want them to win the midterms to slow us down. In 28, it's got to be a Republican. A Democrat's going to kill us, like
So
literally.
there's your headline. Nick Fuentes calls for a Republican victory in 2028.
With an asterisk, it's got to be an America First Republican. We need a dark horse, non-MAGA. MAGA is dead.
Who would it be?
In 28.
A Massey? Would it be a Tulsi Gabbard? Would it be an RFK Jr.?
It's MAGA. MAGA is dead.
Who would it be?
In 28.
A Massey? Would it be a Tulsi Gabbard? Would it be
Why
an
the fuck
RFK
would it be
Jr.?
Tulsi Gabbard?
That's a really good question, and probably no one has a real answer for that. But I hear many people now, they're literally talking about Tucker. They want to see Tucker in office. Are you kidding me? Tucker Carlson, I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see that better than all those other creatures of like this administration, better than Marco Rubio or J.D. Plant. I'd rather have Tucker Carlson in there. Sometimes I also disagree with Tucker, don't get me wrong, but I think he's better. He's actually more America first than all those other clowns who are like cosplaying like they're America first, but at the same time they're like Israel first. I really believe that Tucker Carlson, like a normal guy, I mean, like he also came from like an elite family. His dad worked for the CIA, don't get me wrong, I know this all, but like he just was like this, he worked for Fox News, like a normal guy. I think we need someone like that in office now, or long story short, excuse me. We just need a person in office now. Is it almost too much to ask for that? We need a president who just cares about America? It almost looks like that's too much to ask for. Like every president we have in office now, they're cosplaying like they care about us. They're cosplaying like they care about our country. But in the meantime, they're not busy with us. They're not busy with our country. They're almost busy with all these foreign conflicts in the world. Almost everyone else in the world giving money to everyone, to every war, to every foreign country, but not to us. Is it like too much to ask for that we just have one guy or one woman, I don't really care anymore at this point, who just puts the United States on the first place and who put Americans on the first place? It almost looks like that's impossible. Why, I have no idea. Maybe because all those politicians are just like controlled by some other people, some very powerful people, their donors. But I just want one person who actually puts America first. And I think this has to be a normal guy. We just need a normal guy. Maybe like Tucker Carlson or maybe a Nick Fuentes. I mean, like Nick is still too young now. But we don't need another like elite kind of made-up figure like a Marco Rubio, like a J.D. Vance, who are also like part of like this whole system already. I feel like all the people who are connected to the same system who like failed so many times. If you put them in office, we will have the same over and over again. It's the same. It's just a cycle, a different person, but it's like every time the same story almost. We need someone who is completely different, just like a normal guy. I don't even care anymore at this point. Just go to like your first KFC or like to your In-N-Out Burgers and just take a random man and put him in office. I think that would also already be better than all these other creatures like a Donald Trump or like a J.D. Vance. You get the point. You get the point. We just need a guy who cares about us, who cares about you, who cares about me, and not all those elite figures who are always acting like they care about us, but about themselves. We have had already so many examples of all these clowns acting like they were good for us, good for our country, but at the end, they were not good for us. You get the point. Maybe Tucker for president. I think that's not even a bad idea, but let me know what you think. Would you vote for Tucker Carlson? I'm very, very curious.
It's not anybody that you would think of. Because consider there's precedent for this. In 2020, Andrew Yang he's a low millionaire from New York, and he got on the debate stage. This is a precedent. In 2024, Vivek Ramaswamy ran for, and he's an unknown. He's a billionaire. He might have been the nominee if it wasn't for Trump. If Trump were not in the race, maybe Vivek would have been competitive. Now you got a guy like James Fishback in Florida, a total unknown entity, going in against Byron Donalds, who is a shoo-in. He went from 4% to 23%, largely through social media, largely through virality on social media.
So it shows there's a hunger for dark horses.
I think the social media is empowering dark horses unknowns to step in and take advantage of this. And you'd be surprised if someone has the right skill set, they could really tap into something that's going on. My generational run, clavicular, all these things that have been going on, they're all gesturing towards something, pointing towards something greater. They're all anticipating something, prefiguring something bigger than all of this.
What comes after Trump?
It's got to be something that makes him look like a joke. I mean, what comes after Trump has to make him look like Barack Obama by comparison. It needs to be like serious balls, serious dictator energy. Like, we need someone that isn't playing around, because not to be, I'm kidding a little bit, but we do need to get serious. Look at our country. They let in 10 million illegals. We tried to deport them, and they rioted to prevent us from deporting people. We're at war in Ukraine. We're at war in Iran. How long before war in Taiwan? The debt's approaching 40 trillion. Like, we have real problems.
I agree. Well, Tucker Carlson, you're no fan of, the numbers show Republicans told him, I agree. And he said God have to appear to him as president. He doesn't want that. What if Tucker Carlson ran?
I don't know if I would get behind that. I don't think he has the temperament to lead, and I also think he's too much of an anti-Semite. I don't think someone with that much hatred in their heart. Someone needs a Tucker Carlson that, we just actually have to love everybody as Christians. I'm kidding a little bit, but no, I don't like Tucker, and I don't trust him. So I think he's full of it. And, he is kind of like, he did a thing at Turning Point USA, and these college kids were pressing him a little bit, and he, lost his mind. He was, angry. It's like, if you can't handle a couple of college kids asking about your net worth, how are you going to handle a campaign? I don't think that's going to work out. So, but he's been pretty good, though. Lately, he's been pretty good, even though we have our differences.
I don't know. President Tucker Carlson sounds pretty good. With Vice President Nick Fuentes.
No, you be the vice president if it's him. That's your guy.
Well, listen, Tucker, when nobody was defending me, well, you were, but they censored, he did. I mean, I like Tucker.
Yeah.
I know you think whatever. I really don't. I like the fact he's hot-headed. Like you said something about his daddy called, I mean, I like the hot-headedness. It's like,
Well, I did his show, and then he started talking trash about me. I'm like, Tucker, I thought we were friends now. Like, we had dinner, I thought we were cool, and then he starts saying I'm an anti-Semite everywhere. So I want to be his friend. He doesn't want, he thinks I'm gay. He's going around telling everybody, that little gay kid that doesn't support J.D. Vance. It's like, bro, what's
well,
your
wait, don't tell him about the threesome you and me and Tucker had in Vegas.
I didn't think you were going to put that out there. That's I went straight to Rome from Vegas.
And then J.D. Vance came in. And then Melania was there.
That was crazy. That was a crazy night, huh?
Me and Tucker had a little good time at that outhouse right there. That's a joke, folks. It's a joke. Hey, but seriously, I love how you told me my truth. I can't come on, take a vacation, I'm burnt out. And they claim you're over there plotting Trump's death in Rome.
Yeah, with the Vatican and well, we're all from Chicago, so we all know each other, right? Me, the Pope, and Obama.
The truth is, I'm gonna complain. Me and Tucker and Obama had a threesome.
Damn, I'd like to see that.
Well, I was actually playing golf, but that's a joke, folks.
I'd watch that too.
I'm doing some viral stuff here. All right, Nick. Thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties. You've been proven right. It's amazing. How do people find your show? And are you doing a show tonight? And what time is it?
Doing a show at 9:30 Central. Nick J. Fuentes, but great to be with you, man, and good luck with everything.
Guys, what is going on with Alex Jones? Why is he making these weird-ass jokes? It's not even funny. It's actually kind of disgusting if you think about it. But what is more important to me is the fact that what Nick said before, that it is true that the next guy in office,